Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This is Gail of Gaia, and this is Free Range, where we graze on wild ideas. And we have Mr. Drake Bailey here today, and he has some very interesting things to tell us. Hi, Drake.
Hello. Well, I got some interesting stuff that I don't think anybody else has got because nobody else has talked about it. Nobody mentioned it, and it's not nice. Well, everybody wants to know what's going on, and so I asked some people, or let's put it this way: I took some information from some people.
Okay.
And the thing about it is that it is not something that some people will accept, whether it's true or not, doesn't matter. Everybody's familiar with Russia going into Ukraine, but they don't know the reason. Now, there was a initiation of what's called the Trident. That's an ancient prophecy. When the three great northern tribes unite, it creates the Trident. The Trident is China, Russia, and America. What is interesting about it is that they have bosses. A lot of people don't know that. You could call them puppet masters or whatever you want, but they decide certain things, and some of those certain things are not what everybody would like to see. However, the fun and games is this: Putin was told to go in. Bear that in mind. Seeing as how he had been vilified in general, along with Russia, they decided to use him instead of the others. At any rate, he went in and started doing his thing. And about 10 days before it actually happened, I told everybody on one of my shows that Putin was going to withdraw. Now, about 10 days in advance of the actual happening. The object that Putin was after was very, very simple. There we go. Now they can't call me.
Oh, good idea. I need to do that too.
So he went in, but he didn't instruct his troops correctly, or they wouldn't have acted the way they did. Now, one of the things that everybody doesn't understand is this: certain cartel people, certain government officials, certain people who are, as such, in charge or have power to execute things, told everybody that they were to eliminate the entirety of the cabal.
What's up with that?
Well, listen to me. This is primarily based on the chemical warfare institutes and whatnot that they had running around loose in the Ukraine. That was completed. Now, what the deal is in terms of things of this nature is that Columbiana, the movie, it was stipulated by the cartel boss. He wanted everybody dead, right down to the dog. They missed Columbiana. Anyway, she escaped too. That didn't help. This is primarily the reason for everybody, no matter their age or whatever, being executed. Some of it, where you have people that were bound, hands tied behind their back and that sort of thing, those were interrogations. And if they didn't answer, they killed them. No problem. Human life, when you are not conducive to continuing it, it gets forfeit. Now, here's the other part. Putin's beginning to withdraw. He's moving toward the eastern Ukraine, he says. Well, that is something that couldn't be further from the truth. The reason being is that the whole of the military of the Ukraine will be concentrated on the Russian forces. Between the separatists, and they're not exactly, I don't know what you call, thrilled with Putin and Soviet activity and all that. So there's a little bit of conflict or whatever in that already. When Putin's people come in and start trying to exercise Gestapo boot tactics, they're going to turn on them. Now, separatists, I want you to bear this in mind, they beat the Ukrainian military. They were going to, quite literally.
I saw some pictures of the Ukrainian military and Marines. At least that's what they said to her. You don't know when you see some pictures sometimes, but that picture looked like a pretty pathetic group of
Well,
people.
there's not a question of that. It's a question that the separatists defeated the Ukrainian military. Think about that. Outnumbered 10, 20 to 1, and they did it anyway. That's one reason Putin will not be successful in absconding with Eastern Ukraine. It won't work.
I don't think he wants to abscond with it.
He doesn't. That's part of the orders. He's to look like he is, say that he is, and then just simply leave.
So basically, he's doing what he's supposed to do according
Yeah,
to the overlords.
He was ordered to eliminate the cabal in Europe, and he's pretty much done that.
That's pretty hard to do, I would think.
No, you just catch everybody home. Remember those apartment complexes and whatnot that got blown up?
Yeah.
Those were the homes of the people that worked at the illicit factories that were producing bioweapons.
Oh,
Think about that. They eliminated everybody right down to the dog. Grandma, grandkids, didn't matter. Everybody gets eliminated because they don't want that disease, and they consider it such, to be coming back. Now, here's the fun part. You're going to have about 3 to 5 weeks or more of time between the end of hostilities that Russia has going on in Ukraine and the start, and you're going to love this, of the same sort of thing here. We won't have to be dealing with a foreign army. We're going to be having a war between people here, just the same as they did there.
Is that
we're going to eliminate the cabal on American soil. Period.
Okay.
It's gone.
And it could get ugly.
Well, by that I mean everybody gets executed. They try to get as much info as possible, and there are certain people who have the codes to the problem that we've got in terms of the matrix being in charge or being in control, and the ways in which you can eliminate that. The people that put it in place are to be offered a choice. Extraordinary punishments, and I'm talking about tortures you can't even imagine. And until they decide to do what they're told. Okay.
Does that mean they're in custody?
No, Not
Oh,
yet. Not yet.
okay.
They have to go to uh, a meetup point. Everybody said in one of the polls. That's possible. Um, Meet with ET, remove their portion of the black magic, nasty that's people refer to as the matrix. This is a control matrix, and the ideology is that when that magic is released, that means that we can be freed, everybody on the planet. Okay. The interesting portion of this is what is not stated, whether it's mainstream media, insiders, or whatever, is the fact that we get to reorganize, reinitiate, eliminate, and or otherwise overhaul the governments. We're going to end up with a combination of things. One is a world government. Oh, everybody's going.
But not one, not the New World Order, though.
No, no. This will be a new world order for the people. Okay, the people then have to take the bull by the horns and actually put things together in such a way that we don't have the systemic problems that we have had recently. Foreign interests have infiltrated, saturated the United States, and I mean all parts of it. I gave you a list of some of the names, some of the corporations, and
Oh,
whatnot.
we did that a couple shows
Yeah,
ago, didn't we?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's more names than that than what's on there, like you said. There's also many more corporations.
Yeah.
The thing is that those corporations are going to come under restriction acts, and the restriction acts control what they're allowed to do. One of the things that's going to be most immediate is that China has to relinquish control of all of the farmlands they've purchased. That's first. Second, the yuan will not be the reserve currency, but neither will the dollar. We're going to have a totally new currency. The you've heard about the gold backed and all this other stuff. That's a diversion.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Because the new way to do it is going to be sort of like a credit card, charging up credits for the people that earn or do this or do that, from which they can take up to the full amount. This is a part of how the med beds are free, or if you have to go to a biosphere to get fixed, you got to go. But this is what this is only a part of. I'm not giving all of it. I've been asked not to, and I respect the people that request that. So consequently, you get a good dose of it, but you don't get all the details. The details will start coming out rather suddenly when you start seeing things happening that, they'll say, like this one up here, I got a message says April 24th.
Yeah, April 18th too. Both those dates have
Yeah,
been
I mean,
thrown out there for something.
So you got all these people that want to predict something. Ooh. They want their 5 minutes of fame. That's all they want. They would like to have some measure of power that they can't access. So, oh boy. Somebody asked if you could mute when you cough. I don't even know when I'm going to cough, and everybody wants to blame me for it. Anyway, the other part of this is that shortly after this takes place, the transition happens, and that will rectify a bunch of things. Shortly after the transition, people are going to have ET friends, all kind of buddies showing up. They like certain things that we have that we can make here that they can't.
Like
Replicators
sauerkraut.
just, yeah, well, replicators just won't work. So consequently, what they do is they have worked out a deal with some of the shipping companies to pay them in like sauerkraut. I know that might sound funny, but it's a rarity. It's considered a delicacy, among other things. That's one. Okay, anything fermented has a tendency to be a rarity upstairs. The second part of it is that ET will help, but only superficially. They're not going to be the knight in shining armor riding a white horse over the hill to save us. That ain't going to happen. It's going to be up to us. We're going to have people that can actually deal with ET on a realistic basis in such a manner that all of humanity, that's the Arabs, the Muslims, everybody, gets a fair shake. That's what it's all about.
That's what it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in other words, expect all the laws to be negated. Ooh.
Start over again, right?
Yeah. Expect your money to have serious problems, except for people who don't have a lot of it. A lot of people are going to find that the idea of a steady so much a month income turns out to be pretty true in a whole lot of cases. Primarily with people that don't have anything like that. You have to really search if you really want to find out about the new banking and currency and valuation system. Okay?
And quantum financial system, is that
That's
real?
that is one part of it. Uh-oh.
What?
One of our signals ain't strong. Is your signal real weak?
No, not yet. It's okay for now. Yours
I got
looks okay too.
I got
Yeah, I do
4
too.
bars. Yeah.
What made you say that?
They had a little warning thing up at the top.
Oh, maybe that was
Anyway,
it.
the interesting about the fun and games is that we get to decide, and this is going to be fun. Each country, there's 187, I believe, gets to stipulate a council, whatever that entails, however many people, doesn't matter. Out of the council, you pick one person to represent. They meet with people like we'd meet with Canada, Mexico, Central America. That would be our part. South America would have their own. Out of all of the people that you put together in this council form, the fun begins, because you got to tone it down, pick it out. You're going to have lists. This country wants this. This country wants that. This one over here wants something different. Well, you have to pick the highest priorities, the things that are most important, and those will be the ones presented to the Galactic Federation. We also pare down the councils from individual states and countries to approximately 3 people per continent. It's that simple. Those people then make suggestions to council members, and the council members then put their heads together and decide who and what is first. And it's going to be an interesting change, like a breath of fresh air.
Wow.
That's only part of it.
So as far as you know, there's nothing in particular that you're aware of about the 24th or the 18th of this month.
No. and I always get I don't know what you call it, warning labels, alarm bells, or something like that. When something really serious is coming up,
Mhm.
I always get notified somewhere or another.
Okay,
So
I don't.
far, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I don't know if you got a chance to watch the video, Watch the Water, which I sent to you. People are asking about it now, what's going on in that regard. So I knew that would happen. I hope you had a chance to see some of it or get some intel on it.
I got a little bit on it. What I did was I connected to it and through it downloaded stuff like you saw on the Matrix, and somebody didn't know something, they didn't have a clue, and they downloaded things to uh, their head, and all of a sudden they knew how to fly a helicopter or whatever the deal
Yeah,
was.
yeah. That was, I just saw that
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Well, the same sort of, I do something similar to that.
Mhm.
The intel or information is condensed and loaded into my head, so I do have a fairly good working knowledge of things. Friend of mine is one high level research chemist, and he did a comprehensive study of the vaccines and whatnot. And
Call
he's
the
got,
shots. Don't call them vaccines.
okay.
Anyway,
Well, anyway,
yeah.
the
I don't
shot.
know. Yeah.
What's funny is that he found stuff a lot worse than what you did, or what was reported in that video.
Worse.
Worse.
Maybe it varies from one to the other, which
Uh-uh.
company makes it or
Nope. These are all
well,
common. These are all common things run throughout.
are you going to
Common.
tell us what it is besides the graphene hydroxide, which acts like razor blades? But we're all talking, everybody's concerned now about the snake venom aspect, the spike proteins from the different.
Depends on how you use the snake venom. A lot of the times, snake venom is considered an advantage, something that goes to the good rather than the bad. Depends on how it's used and whether or not
Well,
it's genetically modified before they inject it in this poor little virus is sitting there probably covering
it
up.
isn't even a virus.
Alone. I've had
Yeah.
enough, and here comes a needle right through your head.
So what are you saying was in it besides what we already know? Besides the snake venom, besides
we
the
have
graphene oxide and hydroxide?
atomic leftovers, and we have
Atomic leftovers?
yeah, and we have what they call let's see here, what is it? It's not GM. I keep thinking GMO, and once I get that in my head, it don't go away. They have what they
It's
call
nasty stuff.
genetic. What they have is genetic modifiers in all of these,
Yeah.
and
They target
your
certain tissues.
your genes get messed up to the point where you could actually have funny looking kids or something.
Oh, for sure. Well, this was the biggest thing that I thought was really diabolical is the fact that they have this snake venom, and then they have the messenger RNA, which does enter the nucleus of the DNA of your cells, which they said it didn't, but it does. And when it does, it can actually give the message to our DNA to make the snake venom or whatever spike protein is attached.
Watch out for people trying to bite you.
Well, it's pretty diabolical. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, well, we got questions like you wouldn't believe in the
We
chat
got
box.
people.
They want to know what happened to ET, and I'd like to know too. I've been bugging them. I even smacked one around the other day.
What are you talking about?
ET. He got smart, so I grabbed him by the throat and went boo 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 boo, and he. What the hell did you do that for? I said, you want me to really hurt you? Well, no, I didn't like that. I said, well, how about I answer the question? And it did. It was in a position to know, so I asked it. Um,
But my
you know,
advice to anyone, I see somebody asking some questions, is that no more shots, no more tests, none of that. Your compliance is what is dragging this on as long as
uh-huh, uh-huh.
so please stop complying. Your obedience is not to our advantage, it's actually hurting us.
And Fauci needs to go in the gulag.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But the bad things that everybody has gotten accustomed to, and I don't know how they do that. I can't stand it hardly. I get so mad I want to put a bullet hole in the TV sometimes. But
I know somebody who shot their TV.
yeah, Elvis Presley
you,
for one.
you, yeah, you know somebody who did that too. His name is Dean. He
Yeah,
shot his
well,
TV with a gun.
he used my gun. Let's put it that way.
I just think that's funny.
They just started reporting on something that this guy was directly involved with, and it was just about as wrong as it could get. And he said, "I had enough of that. Give me your gun." I said, "Okay." I gave it to him, and the dummy actually blew a hole in the TV set. Boom!
See, I thought I was told maybe this was in the old days, but if
Yeah.
you did that to your TV, it would blow up. I mean, you were taking a big chance.
These new ones just kind of burn out.
Oh, okay.
The older ones with the big vacuum tube for a screen and all that, there was a good possibility you could hurt yourself and anybody else in the room
Yeah, that's what I thought.
because it's under a big vacuum. It'll have two things happen. One is an implosion, and then all that stuff coming together, boom, comes right back out again. So you know,
By the way, thank you, Laura P. That I appreciate that. I do post a lot in there for people. They tell us they will comply with God or die and go away from God. Yep. So
basically.
did we miss some questions here? I'm looking for some questions.
Oh yeah, we got plenty of them in the chat room.
Yeah, I gotta find them now.
Ah,
Okay, let's see. Well, I guess we're in the beginning here. If you got your questions and you put them up earlier, if you would put them up again, if you don't mind. Otherwise, it's kind of hard to find them because this thing moves so quickly, and it's coming from YouTube and a couple, and two other places too. So it's hard to keep up with at times. So where are we? What about false flags? Are you expecting any false flags? Did you hear anything about that, Drake?
yeah, I've heard several things coming down the pike. Most of it's all BS, and that's what. But they like it that way, you know.
Okay.
And because once you drink the Kool-Aid, oh boy, got problems.
Well, Drake, you can answer that question. I already have my opinion, and she's not
What do
who
I
she
think
says she
of
is.
the Queen?
Yeah.
Well, until she does something that shows that she's real, I'll just reserve comment.
Well, I won't, and I'll say she's a fake. Anyway, I have a little bit of issues with somebody that comes on and wants to be a king or queen or whatever, mostly because that's putting yourself above everybody else, and we're supposed to be moving into some sort of equality, so nobody's better than anybody else. You might have different talents and different abilities and so on, but you're not any better.
I just saw a nice one that went by in the chat. I'm
Let me see.
gonna go back to it.
Which one was it?
Just okay, 1937-42. Say Jack or whatever. Drake, we did not get a flu sample, neither is simple cold since we started to drink tonic water 1 to 2 times a week. Thanks.
Well, here's the thing. Some of the recipes really are some of the things that help are actually against snake venom are things like ivermectin, HC hydrochloroquine, hydroxychloroquine, zinc,
Host defense.
Yeah, they don't mention that.
And
They don't mention that one, but I'm in
no,
agreement with you about that because mushrooms are extremely
dandelion work.
immune supportive. Um, anyway,
Mhm, mhm.
there are more. There's a list that was given, and maybe I can put it on. What about this talk about the scare event? That's a good one, Thomas. They keep talking about a
Well,
scare event.
it depends on whether or not you believe in Halloween and the woolly birds coming up on to bite you on the neck. There's a scare event for you. They made a joke out of it, is what it did. What are they going to do?
Well, the people like Juan O'Savin and
Uh-huh.
Nino and some of these other ones are saying that they need to have a near-death citizens event in order to, wake people up.
Well, yeah. The war in Ukraine's got everybody's attention. When that sort of warfare starts going on here between us and them, that's when the fun begins. That's when oh my goodness, the alarm clock went off. And you get a truly woke population. Oh my God. Uh, you can't you can't negate the importance of what is about to transpire. So, you know, I'm gonna get this.
What's happening in terms of the current administration? Are they going to be stepping down? Are they going to be being removed? What's going
They're
to
gonna
be?
they're gonna have
I
a
mean,
choice.
the fake one, the fake
They're
administration.
gonna have a choice. If you don't want us to slowly torture you to death over a series of several months, my suggestion is that you not only leave, but Biden can go back to his basement. We'll allow that. Kamala Harris, we're going to put you on a camel and see how you do. Pelosi is done. So are a bunch of these other people that thought they were so neat.
Many of them are testing positive for COVID.
Well, 90% of the inflation is Biden screwing up the our own oil supply. Anybody that doesn't realize that is not living in the general area of life.
Yeah, somebody just said it, and it's actually true. For the first time, smoking is actually somewhat to your benefit. Of course, it would help if it was non-chemically treated papers and tobacco, but the
Mine
fact
is
of it is you have
here,
American spirit,
organic.
right? Yeah.
Mine's organic.
Yeah,
All
that's
of it.
the best way. Then it fills those nicotine receptors in the brain that they're talking about that the venom goes after, because basically they have a way of targeting different organs by the different spike proteins that they add. So
Glutathione. Oh boy.
glutathione. Yeah, let me mention that, Drake. That is something
Yeah.
that's extremely helpful when you're removing any kind of toxins, and it's one of the reasons that children are not as adversely affected as quickly. But they will if they keep getting booster after booster. But the fact of the matter is glutathione in the product that I carry, Modexus, actually has 1,000 milligrams of glutathione already made and ready to go and ready to help your body get rid of nasties. So I
There's
picked
three
things for a
ingredients.
reason. I
There's
picked
three
them.
ingredients in the longevity. Now, I will suggest if you want to do it a simple way, get some alfalfa and take it according to directions daily, and it will
A lot of people
eliminate
are allergic to
and
alfalfa.
it will eliminate all of the nasties. Allergies are simple.
Well, you can tell that to my mother, but she's not here anymore. She didn't think it was so
Oh,
simple. When your nose starts running and your eyes are running and you have hay fever, it's no fun. It's no fun. But those things were probably created by the program that we were plugged into as children, and I'm referring to these things. But anyway, are you okay?
mm-hmm. I had a
Iodine is
cigarette,
very important.
I
That's a
had a
good point.
cigarette butt that was trying to come out. Yeah.
Okay.
One thing about a cigarette, it always makes an ash out of itself.
That's a good one.
Well, you can have all kind of fun with that.
Oh, that's a good one.
I take
Okay.
iodine, but I don't take it real regular because most of the food that you get has iodine in it.
No, it doesn't. I disagree. A lot of food doesn't have iodine in it. And there's a lot of iodine deficiency out there. And the kinds of problems that people have are like fibrosis, different types of fibrosis, and it's very common in women. What's the matter? You got a
Well, I've seen Joe Blow here's got one. What is the
question?
latest 80-mile wide asteroid? That's a scare event. Ooh, that's bigger than the one that killed all the dinosaurs. But it's not. It's not.
That's what they say. Yeah.
Let's put it this way: it won't be allowed to hit the planet. That's one of the advantages of living on a keystone planet. You have protections that you are not aware of until they come about. Is the military in charge of the government now? Not yet. That's coming.
Are you kidding me, Archangel? You think that's funny, huh?
Well, yeah, I do.
I don't, but that's why I'm laughing.
Well, if you look at the timelines and you get the intel from the higher ups, you'll find that the military is going to join with the militias and all the people to help rectify the problems here. And that means the cabal is going bye-bye.
Well, that couldn't happen soon enough, in my opinion.
I hope it's reading enough for everybody to hear them.
So everybody's been saying that, April's everything that happens in April, it's going to be huge. Can you elaborate on that? What they might be meaning?
Gross. Tippy Top in Texas don't like my popping up cigarette butts.
That's why I told you what I did earlier.
Well, I'd like to see fast he goes. This is our news. The fast is done. So we'll see. Quit smoking is easy. I've done it 1,000 times. Yeah.
And start right back up again, right?
Yeah.
How else could you do it 1,000 times? I think it's one of the worst addictions around because I used to smoke many years ago, and it was probably one of the most difficult things to totally quit. I mean, I would quit, and then I'd think I could bum one cigarette and get away with it. It never worked. As soon as I did, I'd be smoking again. But anyway, thank God I finally did quit quite a while ago. But yeah, I have a history of that. So I know what it's like, and it's not easy to stop. Not at all.
Yeah, I have taken lungwort tea. I'm just reading junk from the.
Yeah, I'm looking through the questions to see if anybody has any other questions. When will well, we don't know that. We can't really answer that exactly. When will the
How do you know?
I hit the wrong one.
Just because you don't mean I don't.
What?
When will the car go bye-bye this year?
Yeah.
It's done in the European Union. They went and arrested. Now, this is something you ain't going to see, and you really have to get it, but you can get it. Dig down deep, find out who has been arrested by the European Union and associates. There is a large number of them. Well over 5,000.
What's happening on? Oh, there's some planet. Which one was it?
What do we do?
One of the planets is heating up. I don't know if it was Jupiter. Does anybody remember? I started reading.
I thought it was our planet that was heating up.
Well, they try to say they've been, if you're talking about global warming, that's a joke anyway.
No, it's not. It's real.
No, it's not.
It's not what they're telling you.
What?
They're lying for power. Heard there are 7 planets. Yeah.
You know,
You
this
get to meet,
person,
you get to meet the fire people from Sun and all kind of
you know
thick.
that,
It's just so bad. Yeah, that could
you know,
be. There's a way. There's a way through discernment to find out.
here's another one. Who is it that were pushed into a steel plant in Ukraine out of food and out of ammo?
Russians.
The Russians were pushed into the steel plant?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, have they lost
What
people?
better,
Has
what better
Putin?
place to put somebody than in a place you can't get nothing? I mean, the same rules that where they're starving people or killing them or whatever by the Russians, the same rules apply from the Ukrainians to the Russians. Okay? A lot of people want some payback for shooting grandma or grandkids or whatever. I mean, we have a lot of latitude in what we decide to do with people that have done nasty things to us.
Drake, is
Well,
Russia going after the Ark, Pleiadian high tech? Well, I
they
don't know
can't.
that it
They can't. They don't have the technology.
doesn't. I don't think anyone has the technology. The arcs are all connected, and they're all activated, and nobody on Earth, except maybe some guy named JP, is able to do anything about it. They don't have any control over those arcs, the way I understand, and they're turning on as a result of the seeders of the planet that have come into the um, solar system.
Okay, everybody's asking about arcs all
Yeah,
over the place. Well,
they're all over.
I'll tell you a couple of things about the arcs. One, there's only certain people that can access them. You can't get access, you can't do nothing with it. Number two, they were predetermined and predestined and all that sort of stuff, and had a timer and everything to turn on all the little whiz bangers and whatnot that are in. I don't know if you've ever been in a spaceship, but you ought to see. You think ours is complicated? You ought to see theirs. Ooh, my goodness. Anyway, everything started lighting up because it's getting close to time. I remember.
When is ET going to decloak, and how long do we have to wait? And arcs, are they DNA activated? And I would say yes.
Transition. Well, the arcs are DNA activated? No. I'll explain that to you real simple.
That's not what I heard.
And this has been around for a long time. Well, your DNA doesn't have squat to do with it. What has something to do
Well, then
with
why
it?
are certain people
They
able
don't know what
to
you're talking about.
access it and others aren't? It would have to be related to their DNA antennas.
No, it has to do with this stuff between your ears. When you have a ship and the ship is live, as in living or entity, you can have a conversation with it if you wish, and that's basically what is done.
But it connects with you based on the DNA antennas. That's I've read
No,
that on more than
it
one
connects
source.
according to the telepathic capabilities of the individual trying to have the conversation. I've met a couple of these live spaceships. They're about the most interesting entities I've ever run across.
Oh, here's a good one for you.
Oh,
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe you better answer that question. Will we be taught how to remote view and travel among timelines?
yes, eventually. Not right at first, but eventually.
Okay, how about this one? What was the galactic influence of energy that hit on the 12th? A convergence from the central sun?
No, that's more like a precursor. You know, when the thunderstorm's coming, you get this whoosh of air. That's basically the same sort of thing. It's a little, hi, here I come. You got to remember, the things of Mother Nature, as well as ETs and all these higher up beings, got a sense of humor.
Okay. What
Uh-oh.
does Drake think about Farsight and their remote viewing?
Remote viewing? I remote
Courtney.
view a lot. Now, there's several levels of that. One is where you can see things that you can't see otherwise. One is where you actually put your discernment on steroids. You can really, really get the feel or a picture of something. And the third one is where you actually extract information without the individual you're extracting it from having a clue that anything's going on. And those are only 3 of them. There's a bunch more.
Okay, Tippy says, great question, but mine was ignored. Too hot to handle? I don't think so. Go ahead and put the question up again. You have no idea how quickly this strolls through. You can miss a question very easily, so bear that in mind. So put your question up again.
Where is Indiana Jones when you need him? Well, I've been trying to get a hold of Scotty to beam me up, and he ain't listening either.
Me too. He ain't listening to me either.
Stop the world. I want to get off. Yeah.
Exactly. Any word on April 18th and the false flag in New York City? That's what the
New York City is a false flag.
Now that's just not very nice, Drake.
No, I can't help it. They made it that way on purpose. Influence the internet. It's just
Let's see. Look, hey, here's a good one for you. Are April taxes a reality? I wouldn't pay them.
No, taxes. By the way, if you really check, and it's on all over the internet, paying taxes is voluntary. So if you really don't want to, you really don't got to, no matter what the IRS says.
Yeah, as a matter of fact,
they're the ones that put the information out.
Yeah.
Voluntary, it's voluntary.
Yeah, the director said that. I go, well, I don't volunteer. Thank you very much. Okay, this is a message, and if this was Tippy Top in Texas, if this was the one that you're talking about, we did put that one up. We did put this question up. When will the cabal go bye-bye?
Well, you wait till the militia and militias and groups and whatnot and the military here drop the other boot. When that second shoe hits the floor, you're going to see some scurrying like you ain't seen before. Now, all entrances and exits are blocked. There'll be somebody standing there with a gun. There'll be real serious consequences for any dink that jumps into his Learjet and takes off. He's going to be force landed. Now, you can do that the easy way, or they can shoot you down. Your choice. Oh boy, there's a good one. What's their intention? Your discernment police about what?
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Okay, well, what is whose intentions? Yeah, I'm not sure what they're talking about.
Getting cigarettes. I get them at the gas station.
Okay, here it is. Tippy Top in Texas. When is ET going to decloak? And how long do we have to wait? Now we did answer that one too.
Yeah,
I guess
well,
we're not paying attention.
It again because it apparently slipped somebody's mind, or they got busy talking. Everybody shut up and quit posting and texting and listen. Okay, ET is going to decloak as soon as the transition takes place. When that takes like the flash of light, like a flash bulb pop. And all of a sudden they decloak, and that's going to give our radar people something to really consider, because the military has known for a long time that they have no match for what ET's got. So they can't protect us from those people. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Arcs are DNA activated? Question. No. They're telepathically activated, because the arcs are one section of the living machines.
So, okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, why don't we take a little break?
Sound like a wiener.
Pardon?
If your wiener needs a break, we're going to take one.
Oh my goodness.
How,
Okay.
how long?
Well,
How long are we going to take a break for?
about 5 minutes at the most, not even a whole 5 minutes, probably about 3 minutes.
I got 80. No,
I'll
better make it
just,
a little longer. Now I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette so I can cough more.
well, I'll tell you what, you can fill up those nicotine receptors so you don't get any bad spike proteins.
Something like that.
Okay.
I'll
Alrighty
be
then.
back. Oh boy, come on, old stuff.
Okay, here we go. Taking a little break. I'm going to play the hemp paste. And if you ever do try the hemp paste, if you like mint, I really highly recommend the mint because it really covers it covers the taste, which isn't that great until, but it's not there for taste in the first place anyway. So, and I just did a show on that, and I really highly encourage you to watch it because it's extremely informative. Okay, so here's another little bit on it.
Free Range with Gail of Gaia is honored to be affiliated with MyNutra, makers of hemp paste. Hemp paste is a whole food product that still contains most, if not all, of the terpenes, phytonutrients, essential elements, and CBDs of the raw hemp plant. CBD oil manufacturing methods strip away living essential elements, leaving only one, a dead CBD oil. CBD oil alone simply cannot support the entourage effect that occurs when hemp pastes essential nutrients go to work to support your optimum health. Almost 200 terpenes and over 500 other phytonutrients work together with a synergistic effect that simply doesn't happen with CBD oil alone. Visit hemppaste.gailofgaia.com. That's hemppaste.gailofgaia.com to learn more. And be sure to check out the impressive array of hemp-enriched products while you're there. That website again, hemppaste.gailofgaia.com. That's hemppaste.gailofgaia.com.
And yes, once again, I'd like to encourage you to watch the video that we did with the owner of the hemp paste. It is the only product in the world that is the whole plant bud. I mean, just the bud. They don't use the stems, obviously. That's what they use for clothing and other things. But nonetheless, the hemp paste is a very good product that has helped a lot of people in a lot of ways, and we talk about it on that show. So I'd really encourage you to watch that. Now, the other thing is this Modexis. I'm very selective about products I picked out with my nutrition and health background. Now, Modexis makes a product called Longevity, amongst other products as well. But this particular product has that 1,000 milligrams of glutathione, and glutathione is very, very important. Now, you can take NAC, which is the precursor to glutathione, but I think under the toxic siege that we are under, that you would be better getting it already made to help out, and your body will still make some as well. So this is the company that makes that product.
Free Range is pleased to present Modexis and the superfruit Lonicera caerulea. The cornerstone of Modexis products, Lonicera caerulea, is a superfood that supports life at the cellular level. Whether you're looking for a longevity product with added glutathione and ATP, something to help lift you through the day without having to resort to stimulants like caffeine or acidic energy drinks, or just seeking a natural solution to support stress management, Modexis also has a natural approach to pain management. Its Relieve product is unique in its ability to support the body's own pain management system. It's been said you'll notice a difference the very first day. The second day, you'll be loving the products, and the third day, we'll be telling friends about Modexis. Visit modexis.gailofgaia.com to learn more and to see what other people are saying about these quality products. That's modexis.gailofgaia.com.
And the only other product that I have that I carry that I'd like to mention is the well, actually two, so I should say. But anyway, I don't have the little video shorts that Paul with Paul's voiceover and so on, and he did a great job of that. And he has his own show now, and you might want to look him up and see what he's up to. Anyway, Drake is back, so I did put black gold on the screen, blackgold.gailofgaia.com. calm, that's legit, and that's an excellent product too. It's harvested at 18,000 feet, I believe, in the Himalayas, and it's ancient plants and so on that is extracted in the high mountain areas that not very many people can even go there where it's extracted from. But anyway, it's extremely helpful and it carries a lot of minerals, and that's what most people are deficient in. So anyway,
To say about that stuff,
Drake, welcome back.
it's
What?
really great. It is really great. About the black gold,
Oh, thank
it
you.
has
It is. It's
what is
amazing.
known. It has what is known by the shaman who live in the mountains, blue flower. And I'm telling you, just the blue flower by itself cures just about everything known to man. You name it, it takes care of it. So it's got that in there, and I don't know what all else they put in there, but
Yeah, it's like a mixture from Mother Earth from ancient times that
yeah. Learn about it on this video. Uh-oh, I'm by myself. All right. Hold up the process here. Glutathione helps. Yep.
and, oh boy, here we go again. Oops, they're restoring a connection. So I
Uh-oh. Somebody turned her off. That's a bummer. Blue cornmeal. I drink it in my, let's see. Thomas Lynch. Hey, Tom. Turn myself on. I am on. Yep. I bet Gail lost her connection. Well, seeing as I'm here by myself, the Galactic Federation says that when it's time for them to show themselves to everybody, they will decloak, and we're going to have landings like you wouldn't believe. There's over 2 million spacecraft upstairs with a whole bunch of anxious CTs on there. They want to come down and help you. One thing, two or three things. One, the protocol is don't physically touch ET. No handshakes or hugs or none of that. You might transmit a disease that they don't know about and kill them all. This long and close for many a moon. Yeah, you have. You ain't been watching. I'm on Saturday too. You just ain't gonna see me. Now, I have a little announcement to make. Anybody that has a gun and would like to learn how to use it, contact a local militia. They'll teach you. Number two, when you're called, whether you're ready or not, answer the call. There are a lot of people out there who have expertise in various fields. Might be medicine, where you can patch somebody up. It might be procuring or preparing food. What's this? Well, we see Biden leave this. I would hope he'd leave yesterday, but Anyway, changes in the body and astral bodies during or after the shift, the transition. Okay, you're going to be more oriented towards your light body, your higher self, and less oriented towards this oral war out thing. it's not impossible for anybody to deal with what's going on. You have to understand that you're going to be self-aware of a lot of the changes that you're going to go through. Those changes are all positive. You might not think so. To your power device, and my power device, I'm working on it. I was studying today before the show. I'm looking at trying to have it ready in about the end of the month. That's when I hope it does. Where's my ponytail? My ponytail's right here. I got a hold of it, see? You hear me? No problem. What happened to Gail? I don't have a clue. She's about as technically savvy as a frog. She's learned a lot. Let me get my glasses on. I can't see this thing. There we go. Now I can see this stuff. Each planet, yes. And the Galactic Council will decide what we're good for, according to what they demand. Plan changed over is no. The plan is the same, tippy top in Texas. I think about the pole shift in months. No, won't happen. And if it does, it doesn't do any damage. It just, north becomes south and south becomes north. Patty Brassard? I don't know. Oops. Wait a minute. I'll call her, Drake. Okay. Gail will figure it out. Drake, what are happening to Neil Keenan? Well, I've contacted him every so often, and he hasn't got anything happening yet. I have heard of this black gold, by the way, and I know some of the things that are in it. That blue flower is just awesome. Oh, there she is.
Jeez.
Don't stand on the plug. It's not good for communication.
I couldn't get back on.
Well, that's probably somebody. She's on now. What's this say? Who is your galactic family? I don't know. The cube, the ones that maintain the timelines. They did it.
Anyway, I did not do anything, Drake, that caused this to happen. This happened on its own. It wasn't any incompetence on my part.
I didn't say it was. And there's people out there that lick frogs so they get stoned. I mean,
That's
each
true.
to their
That's
own.
actually true. I know what you're talking about.
I don't think grabbing a slimy reptilian and licking it is a good idea.
I don't think that's how they do it, but I get that picture. Oh, I finally got back on, and I'm sorry for leaving you hang there, but I couldn't help it. I was trying to get back on, and I tried to contact the administration and say, I can't get back on. The little button that clicks you on and off wouldn't click me back on. So anyway, here's a good one.
Is Elon Musk and ET? No.
He looks like one. I'm sorry to say that, Elon, but you look like one to me.
ETs, the variety of ETs is tremendous, but there are several races, different ones now, that look so much like us you can't tell the difference.
And aren't some of them on, living on the earth now? We just don't know that they're ETs. Is that true?
Yep. Unless, see, first, no proof. They haven't left any evidence anywhere, no fingerprints. They have crashes like in Roswell, but the government spirits it away and you don't ever hear about it anymore. Anyway, the best thing is you can consider is that everybody is going to meet the ET that they think they should meet. That's how it works. I don't know. Uh-oh.
Here's one. I can't pronounce that name. Said that it isn't going to be a reset. I'm sure I spelled the name wrong. I think you did because I don't recognize what you're trying to say. But anyway, do you know anything about the reset is the cabal's reset. It's not going to happen.
It's not, no. The reset, there's two resets. One is, first of all, us making the transition. That's a reset. The reset financially has already taken place.
Okay, are we going to have to wait for the 2022 elections for ET to decloak? And that's not what you said. You already said they will decloak after the transition. Is that correct?
Whether we're going to have elections or not is unknown. If we have the transition first, no. It'll be a totally different ball game.
Let's see if I got, whoops, did I get, oh, no, that's not it. Wait a minute. There was sometimes it's hard to correct. Here it is. This is the one I wanted. Elon Musk better give President Trump his Twitter account back. If not, forget all of them in SpaceX.
Yeah.
He better give Trump his position back. Otherwise, he's not who he pretends to be. So
yeah. I don't want to say these things that are coming into my mind about
stuff you're not supposed to say.
I'll put this out right now. We have a Constitution that has a First Amendment, and there's a lot of people in the world that don't believe in that, and consequently, that brings about a severe problem. But I can tell you this much. It has already been planned. Now, whether the paperwork's been written or not, I don't know, but it's already been planned that everybody, corporations and whatever, will live by the Constitution, specifically First Amendment, and states, you can forget infringing on my Second Amendment rights. That's a no-no. Anybody who says you can only have 10 rounds and a 10-round magazine, no, that's not the case. The thing to look at, if you all want to look it up, is the Dick Act. It allows us to carry any general military weapon that the military uses currently. So there you go. I mean, let's see here. Will the New Madrid fault go? No. Soon? No. Classy.
Sorry, I got somebody asking me something over there too. Wait a minute. This. What's this about?
It's not a question of who Elon Musk is working with. It's a question of whether or not he's going to take charge.
He owns enough of the shares to be able to take charge if he chooses to.
Well, but he's got to pay for the rest of the company.
He's got a what? How can he only 9% share? Conspiratory.
Goes down slow rotation. There's no. Not any more than anything else.
Well, let me see. Where?
How are we going to change this straw man thing to make us live human beings again? They already changed that. We went from animals to live living human beings because everybody took exception to the fact that they probably have to have a leash and a collar.
What?
That's your representatives. I'm telling you, they didn't like the idea of wearing a bark collar, so they,
Okay, well, I didn't follow that exactly, but what's this here? Let me see what this says. I heard about a month ago that a ship loaded with exotic cars also had a lot of med beds on it coming to the U.S., but sank. Is that true or false? Did you hear anything about that?
Yeah, that's a rumor.
Wow.
Sorry.
Hmm. Well, that's a shame.
They have
You
a
do you have any new?
there's a boatload coming. I ain't saying where it's at or anything like that.
Probably better they don't because they'd probably try to sink it again if they found out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, Gracie Kitty said that the ship had a nuke.
Yeah, that's okay. It doesn't matter what it had.
Um,
It matters is that that little story was a falsie.
okay, let's see. Wait a minute. There was one question that went by
Oh,
faster than I wanted it to. Here it is. I think. Are all the dumps in Australia cleaned out?
no.
No, there's still more.
Let me express this so that you all get it. Some of these deep underground military bases are being uh, absconded with by us, the good guys. Some of them actually have really good purposes. Some of them have extremely, and I mean extremely, extraordinarily, fantastically uh, labs that are working on how to negate everything that's been done to us that we shouldn't have had done. One, how to clean all of the chemicals out of our natural systems. Number two, how to get all the plastics out. And number three, how to have that problem again. And that's just some of the dumps. One of the ones in Australia is doing that part of that work. So you also
Wow.
have to understand that the idea of the ice sheets melting in such a manner that the ocean's going to suddenly rise is a fallacy. These people are lying to you. They leave out the part where it takes 1,000 years to do that, you know.
Yeah, even Trump came out with that too about how, you know, no matter how much melts or they try to claim is going to melt, it's not going to be doing what they're claiming it's going to do. But anyway, we
I
are
like
being
that.
bombarded with lies,
Uh,
disinformation. Some of it's true, most of it's not true. We're getting it from
oh,
both sides. We got the white hats giving us disinformation to protect their operations, and then we got the black hats giving us disinformation just because that's what they do. That's
do true phones have any apps like Apple or Android? No, they don't need them.
oh, they don't? Wow, that's cool.
No, no.
Have you seen one?
It's loaded up for bear when you get it in your hand.
Wow. So are they going to be free of charge or we have to buy new phones or what? How's that going to work? Do you know anything
I
about
think we're
that?
supposed to get them. I think they're supposed to be issued.
That would be nice. Okay.
These are
Somebody's
nice issues.
is XRP out of Switzerland?
I don't know. Is it?
I don't know either. That would be a little concerning if it is, because that's not the place that everybody thinks it is. There's a lot of cabal there. Okay, so many views. Will all of our okay, wait a minute.
And
We
cheesecake.
we talked about this a little bit. Hi, Sean. So many different views. With all of us access, will we be able to access our Strawman or cash out, or is that all bogus BS?
It's sort of bogus in a way. The straw man disappeared. that's
Well,
that's legal gobbledygook to keep us under control. Okay.
so basically, what you're saying is that the straw man was what was related to the birth certificate,
Yeah.
and that's
You
gone
will get
under
it.
basically.
You will still get a birth certificate that tells when you was born, who gave birth to you, and who the father was. Hopefully, and whether or not you're a boy or a girl.
I'm glad you added that.
Hey, I have read a whole bunch of big articles about gender and gender this and gender that. Right now, all of the athletes in women's sports are protesting against uh, converted. I'm going to use males who converted into females. Well, that is not a fair competition, and that's true.
Oh my gosh, that cracks me up when I think it was a lieutenant governor of, I don't know if it was South Carolina, North Carolina, and he was saying you can go, you can get cut up, you can get made up, you can do all this, but the fact of the matter is,
Yeah,
you cannot change the biology you were born with and God gave to you. So,
exactly.
you can get drugged up, cut up.
You be a boy or a girl.
It cracked me up. It was hilarious when he said it. Yeah.
You be a boy or a girl, whether you like it or not, doesn't make a difference. You do not have the capability to go poof and change yourself from boy to girl or girl to boy. It don't work that way.
Anyway,
Many of the people that have had surgery to make it permanent are really upset that they did it. Bear that in mind.
that. Oh, let's see. Here's something here too. Let me see what this one says. Just had something fly across our sky here in Shropshire, England. It had an orange trail and exploded afterwards, along with other explosions. Do you have any idea what it was?
Yeah, comet.
Okay.
ET's ships won't explode if they've got any kind of a crew at all, and most of them got good crews. It just won't act that way. It's not part of the makeup of the ship. So, had an orange trail and exploded afterwards, along with other explosions. Boom, 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 boom. Well, an asteroid, even that's a big chunk, or comet. Comets are usually made up of ice primarily, but some of them have got a rock core. So you know.
Mm. Regarding the Elon Musk decline being on the board of Twitter, I for some reason that was kind of like a sneaky little trap for him, and that's why he declined. The guy's pretty intelligent.
Well,
I mean,
you want the other reason?
go for
He
it.
declined being on the board.
Why?
That means he'd had to sign an agreement that he agreed with their policies and what they were doing. He don't want to do that. He's not willing.
Ah,
Okay, number
okay.
two, if he's not on the board, he is free now to buy the rest of the company if he so chooses.
Hostile
Number,
takeover, huh?
yeah, and number three, oh, free speech. There'd be a platform bigger than all the other little ones, like the one I'm on, Gab, uh, that don't stand a chance if Twitter all of a sudden says, okay, what we're going to do is we're only going to censor certain specific things. Here's the list. That's how it's going to be. Oh, I like it.
Mhm. Let's see what this one says. I don't really get to read it here. Birth certificate, a manifest, put in capital letters at one hour. Okay, that's not what we already covered that.
Yeah.
What's this? He may have a decline, but he is feeding a very corrupt system. They're talking about.
No. He's taking the corrupt system. Now, there's a difference. Yeah, feeding. Yeah, he's feeding on it all right. 10% of the stock. Think about it. And he's got enough money to go ahead and buy the whole thing if he wishes. We'll find out in a few days as to what he was going to do. I'd love to see him say, "Okay, free speech, and here's the list of the no's. The rest of it, say what you want."
Yeah, I really want to see him do something positive.
Everybody does. Everybody just hopes and prays that
Yeah.
somebody will do something positive instead of shooting nukes.
Which won't be allowed by the Galactics anyway, but let me see. There wasn't a swear to the. I saw what percentage?
Yeah,
there it is.
Somebody asked if I heard anything from Tanath. I talked to her radar.
Have you talked to her recently? Have you talked to her recently?
Yeah, it's been like 2-3 days.
Okay.
What percentage of Kamal are gone? Well, that depends on where you you're talking about. In Europe, 99%. There's 1% left, and they're chasing them through the woods. Pitchforks.
Just like they do with little kids. I hate to say
Well,
that, but it's true.
this is even more. They're going to do nastier things than people ever thought about doing to kids.
I know.
You pour
Unbelievable.
tar on somebody and light it on fire and let it take the skin off. You can be nasty as you want to be.
Wow.
Pretty brutal.
Okay, so what about in America or the West?
Well, it depends on what these people have done. If they have given, if I was a parent, give you an example, and these dinks screwed my kid's mind up so bad
Oops.
that they were having PTSD nightmares. I'm going hunting, and I ain't gonna just shoot them. I'm gonna skin them first, among other things I can think of.
Please don't say that stuff.
Well, no.
But hey, I take that back, because if my
You gotta
child was
kill-
involved and I knew what you're saying, exactly what you're saying, I would,
You got a
yeah.
kid and they're going to roast that kid in front of you, and you got the option to use a machete on their goodies. They're going to be short.
Yeah, and rightly so. And what they've done to children is just unbelievable. I mean, it really is unbelievable. And
Well, like hard earth, let's see.
let's see, what's
Hunted
this one?
Become the hunted.
Yeah, I've seen that many times. What
Yeah,
about
what?
any
galactic news?
any more?
Yeah, ET's fine and healthy and chomping at the bit and wanting to come down here so bad they can't stand it. Like we're looking to see them so bad that we can't stand it. Well, you got to wait till the transition, then we can do some of this stuff.
Okay, here's another one for you. What is Drake's take on the Philadelphia experience of 1943? Real event? ? Cloaking and time travel. Oh, yes, indeed.
Yes, it's
it
real.
was. Very real. Yep.
The reason I know it's real is I've talked to a couple of I talked to years back, talked to a couple of the people who were on that boat. They made another copy. Now I want you to understand, copy, right down to the grease marks wherever they were supposed, and on a whole bit, and floated that sucker in and said, "Oh, that's right there. There's nothing wrong with it." Anyway, it took them about let's see, 6-8 years to track down all of the pieces and parts of the original that decided to take off into Gaga land while it was floating in stasis.
It didn't happen in Philadelphia either, did it, Drake?
No.
I guess that's a way of covering up.
Time
Or
travel
did
has been something that we have been doing since 1931.
Oh, there's a lot of talk now too about what's going on with Project Looking Glass. Do you have any information on that?
Looking glasses didn't stink it. You cannot revive something that no longer has the capability of operational procedures. It went white. The Looking Glass itself went white on 2012, and there's nothing there. Nobody's home. I don't mean that the museum's closed. If you can figure out where the museum is, you can go visiting.
Is it true the royals everywhere have been removed?
No, that doesn't happen until we make the after the transition. We make the great change from people being in charge of people to people viewing each other as a combination of both equals and of at least equal values.
Well, I think they may have been referring to some of the royals that have been maybe replaced, shall we say?
You mean clones?
Yeah, because the other ones were dealt with because of their crimes against humanity and children.
Are they going to put anybody in FEMA camps? Yeah, there's going to be a lot of politicians in there.
Well, if you don't mind, I'll do that. I'll read those. Where is that one? Is that a new one?
That's Peg Henry.
Okay, well,
At 20,
it gets
30,
confusing. Well, mine are different than yours because mine will be 3
I've got
hours
the one. I get
behind.
the one. I'm looking at the one for the show.
So am I.
The, well,
But my time is
see, are they
different than
going to put
3
it
hours
on?
different. This show comes up as if it's Eastern
Just
time.
politicians. That's the only people who's going in there. I told
Are
my
you
own.
sure about that?
Yeah.
Good. I
I
couldn't think of.
don't want to go. One will go in there and be in Canada.
Yeah.
I'm bringing mask back. Well, they were talking about the same crap here, and everybody. And that's I'm talking 97%.
That's what you have to do. It's the
And
compliance.
you back it up with a firearm. Now that don't sound nice, but I said Civil War. I meant it. It's going to be a shooting war.
Okay.
Uh,
How about this
it'd
one?
be a very good
How much
movie.
of America will be arrested? I mean,
About 25%. See, you got here. There's two classes: the
wow.
ones that we get to deal with, and the ones that ET is going to deal with. The ones ET is going to deal with is going to go through a vortex to a prison planet, and or now if they think they might have skills or something, they're going to send them to a pristine planet, give them a shovel and an axe, and say, "There you go, go build a cabin."
There's
Like
there's
that.
Yeah, there's talk out there that a lot of people have been executed, and that includes a
Well,
lot of celebrities and so on. They're all involved in drinking adrenochrome and child sex trafficking and so on and so forth. And
yep.
there's a price to be paid for that.
Oops.
Okay.
To show them that we can no longer comply with their crap. Yeah, I don't want.
America was bad. Let's be clear. The American people do not know and have not known what their government has been doing. The only thing that they know is what they've been told by the mass media, which lies every time their mouth is moving.
That sounds like a politician. With their mouth open, they're lying to you.
Exactly.
America, every country, and I don't care which one you want to pick, any of them and all of them have a bad reputation in their past. They did something. It may have been only one time occurred, but uh, that is something everybody needs to get past. Now, I personally, I don't care what they try to play games about, ain't paying restitution to somebody I didn't put in chains. If I put somebody in chains for no good reason, I should pay restitution. I ain't done none of that. How many of these people that are hollering for restitution have been bullwhipped lately? Yeah, or been slave driven on a plantation? None. So therefore, they get none.
Well, what brought that up? Was there a question that related to that, or what?
Yeah, it sort of fits in with some of the other stuff I was talking about. Well, the
Okay.
transition occurred this year. It's supposed to.
Yeah, we can't guarantee anything on dates, and people keep pushing and pushing for a date.
Now,
When you give a date, you change everything.
here's the problem. Dot connector at Ascension 2020 is a misnomer. An ascension is where you actually physically give up your life. Transition is where you just keep on going, but things have changed. That's the difference. Okay. Russell won't be having it when the truth comes out. No. There'd be a
Let me
bunch
see
of
what this.
politicians that people be wanting to have a barbecue with. Put a spit on them and rotate them over a fire.
Okay, the only problem America has is scumbag cops that are against the people and not arresting politicians. Yeah,
I
they're
agree with
afraid.
that. I'll agree with that.
I do too. They're afraid to arrest the politicians. Apparently, they're chicken. You know what?
Yeah,
When it comes to that, but
yeah.
they're more than happy to pull over some poor person who can't afford to pay the registration on their
Stomp them
car or
out.
their
Stomp them
insurance
out.
or something like that.
Well,
Don't
that's why.
okay,
That's why I
don't get me
like these
started.
governors. That's why I like these governors, man. They're taking the Mexicans, the greasers, the beaners, and running them to where they need to be.
Let's not call them Mexicans because a lot of them aren't.
I know.
Mexican.
Well, anyway, the people in Florida are sending them to Biden's hometown by the busloads. Okay, and Texas is sending them
Good
to Washington
Biden.
D.C. Go rub elbows with the politicians. They open the border, they can deal with it.
That's yeah.
It's like Biden standing on a hose that we can't pump our own oil. Jeez.
Yeah, and so he's creating this inflation and high gas prices. And yet, what are we going to do about it, Drake? What are we going to do about it? What
Well,
can we do about it?
It's pretty simple. You got to remove him. Uh-oh. There's Joe
Yeah, but
Blow.
who's going to do that? That's the question.
I
Where's
got a gun. I'll do one or two of them before they shoot me. How many else want to go with me? Let's go. We can all march. Everybody and their mother-in-law can march to Washington D.C. and pick on their own private politician. Now, this is an absolutely true statement, and the prices are going down, and they bought in at a high price. So you tell me what they're going to do about that.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Well,
Lord.
they have made prices so ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Mhm.
Prices here in
No,
the
David Straight. No.
in Arizona. Can we? I need to read the questions, otherwise people don't know what you're answering to.
Read them.
Well, I gotta find the right one first. Here's one for you. Do you recommend becoming a state national that David Straight teaches?
Heavens no. You come under state authority. You want to be a sovereign so that you can be your own person.
You don't want to be any kind of citizen, is that correct?
Well, being a citizen isn't the point. Being a citizen,
I think it
they
is.
like to play games legally with that word. Citizen just means domicile, somebody that lives in a certain place. That's all. Mine is West Virginia. I'm a citizen of the domicile I have selected as West Virginia. Other than that, they don't say nothing about stuff to me because they know better. They don't like federal lawsuits and things like that.
Okay, somebody said that they're paying over $6 a gallon for gas in California right now. Oh my gosh.
That's low. Last I saw it was 7 and climbing.
Yeah, and for the premium, even more, right?
Mhm.
Okay, what's this one? Is it true that the wall will be done in a couple weeks?
In Texas, it's possible. Other places, not so much.
Okay.
The state of Texas is building the wall, so you know.
Well,
There
here's
you
a
go.
question for you. Will the Bar Association ever be abolished in America?
Yes, that's one of the changes I told you about is coming up. That's going to really curdle people's milk.
It sure is.
Now
Wow.
try this. Some citizens who have either already lodged a complaint or are making a complaint about bar lawyers, those bar lawyers have to go to court and show cause for their actions. And if they don't have any basis for the cause for their actions, ooh, that's 2 to 5.
Really?
Yeah. If people would take the time and trouble, and I know Gail, you ain't got the time, but I took about 2 years and studied laws and applications, and uh,
There's a lot.
There's no requirement that you got to join the bar association. That's first. Secondly, they do that for political privilege. A bar association gives you access to protection from the Democrats for their bogus BS. A lot of horse hockey involved.
Wow. Well, the bar, people should know, stands for British Accreditation Registry. So they're all foreign agents, technically. And even if they try to call it the American Bar Association, that's a cover for where they really are originated from. And that is actually against. It's not lawful. Basically,
They
what
have
it
to
boils down
register
to.
as a foreign agent, or they got 5 to 10.
Wow. Why would you? Why would you want to? I mean, why
Well,
would
now
you want to register as
you
a?
got political protection and privileges and goodies and
Really?
uh,
What kind of
well,
political protection?
the Democrats cover for them.
Oh,
Who's
the
got
Dem-
the
So the
um,
Republicans don't cover for them? Are you saying that
a
it's
few
more one-sided?
a few of them do, not very many. It's mostly Democrats, and the reason it's mostly Democrats is because the Democrats signed on to the creation of the bar association. Ooh,
Oh boy, they
yeah,
really did.
and they created the Ku Klux Klan too. Oh, why are all the black people voting for people that created the Ku Klux? What's the matter with you people?
They don't know. That's what the problem is. I didn't even know that. I never would have ever voted Democrat, which I hate to say it. In my past, I have. I used to think the Democrats were the good guys and the Republicans were the bad guys. That's
a
what I used to
long,
think
a long time ago,
when
they
I was
were.
younger.
The Democrats are for the people, and the Republicans are for the companies, and that's been switched around. And we still got a situation where everybody and their mother-in-law has the problem of knowing what the right hand and the left hand is doing.
Yeah,
Ooh, hold on to your wallet. Here comes the politician.
I just, the whole two-party system is a joke anyway. It really is a fallacy because, like they have said, it's two wings of the same bird. So, you're getting compromised, regardless. But anyway, when will free energy be available?
Ain't no such thing.
Well, let's say a lot cheaper energy. Let me put it that way.
When we get Biden's foot off the hose, for starters, here, when we tell the person that is the puppet master for President Biden to cut the crap, or else we might begin to get somewhere. Until these people decide that they're going to do something. I mean, we the people, all of us together, outnumber anything that they've got.
Okay, who's ever webcams chat, would you please leave? We don't want you here.
Who?
Adult chat, 18 and over. Put that up about 3 or 4 times. Go away. This isn't a show about that. Just go away. Okay. Okay. But you don't want to be a person or a human or a sovereign. You just want to be a man or a woman, a flesh and blood. Yes.
Good luck with that. You're going to have to claim sovereignty, or you're not going to have any political or legal power. Bear that in mind.
Yeah, well, I've heard what this is being stated. You don't want to be a citizen legally either. It is a form of slavery, or
Well,
you're employed by whatever you're. Whatever, I don't know. There's so much deception that's gone on. It's hard for people to keep it
if you
straight.
look it up, you are a citizen in terms of a denizen or occupier of a specific place in a state and or a country. You are not legally obligated. Try this now. You just love this one, to perform any kind of duties for those people. No.
No
State
what?
national. The state is not national, by the way.
Well, that is what Anna von Reitz is promoting right now. I don't know if you're aware of that, but that's what she.
Yeah, well, have her call me or get in touch or something, because you don't want to get into that. That right there is nasty.
Well, I don't know. Maybe that's a misunderstanding. But here, the missing 13th Amendment was burned by the British in D.C. in 1812, and dealt with the bar and Esquire, etc. It was ratified by the states and removed at that time. There are some copies states.
Yeah.
So,
West Virginia has a copy of it.
oh, good.
Okay. the ratification took place because of the interruption of the Civil War. After that finished, before the Civil War ended, somebody discovered it, and that's why they put the anti-slavery thing in at the 13th Amendment.
Wait a minute.
It's still real and it's still there. The 13th Amendment they got now about slavery is the 14th. 14th Amendment becomes 15th. You just add a number.
What about this, Drake?
What?
Is
Yeah.
Hawaii a sovereign nation?
Yeah, let me express this. We had a thing that I participated in called the Nation States Project. Each individual state in the United States, if they so choose, can be a sovereign nation unto itself. Okay? All of them.
Okay, I gotta to add with that. What about what is that one thing that they can't? But they can't do anything that is against the Constitution, or it becomes null and void.
When they become
Madison versus
a sovereign nation, an individual state, they have to abide by all of the federal constitutional guarantees and whatnot. Okay. As a sovereign nation, if they wish, they can secede from the Confederation of States. Ooh.
Ooh.
13 states tried that once, and the Union stomped them out.
Interesting. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Let's see what this one is. Drake, how can I get a hold of you for a conversation? I no longer have Facebook. Well,
guess what? My Facebook got locked up sometime or another. I'll tell you what you do. Send me an email with your phone number and your location. Should I put my email address as dragos2112@yahoo.com. Send me an email. I'll call you.
what do you know about Kursna?
Enough to know that it's no good.
Okay, tell me what it is. I don't think I know what it is.
I'd have to dig back in a couple of my archives here and bring that one up. What you have, you get these entities, these people that believe whatever, okay, and they make an organization, and that organization can be used then to further a political or whatever agenda.
Is that, did she get that? Look in the chat and see if she got, I don't think that's right. That's not the correct email address for you. It doesn't look right to me.
I can't, well, what do you mean? Is it in the chat?
I think it's Dragos, D-R-A. Yes, it's in the chat.
Yeah, it's Dragos.
Dragos with a G, not a C.
DRAGOS 2112 at yahoo.com. That's who I am.
Okay, if we need to fix that dot connector, okay. Here's a quote. Let's see. Wait a minute. Hey Drake, do you still talk to Rick Light, and does he still do the militia work in Texas?
Yeah, I talk to Rick every once in a while, and he's kind of backed up from the militia a bit. They're still training and all that stuff down there. Next.
Okay. Do you know anybody here in Arizona?
Yeah, I know of some people in Arizona. They're the people in Arizona are undercover, and the reason they are is because the FBI and its wisdom has been going around stomping out militias. So these guys are
I saw Trump, based on what you just said. I saw a message from Trump saying, defund the FBI.
Yeah. Dot connector, Drago 212. Yeah, that's me. You got me.
Okay, you corrected it? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Did
April
we
18th.
address the event scheduled for April 18th, the false flag in New York? Do you have any information? We can just review that
You're
real
talking
quick.
about bogus BS. Whenever somebody puts a date on something, oh boy. Everybody goes nuts. People try to predict things and they don't come about. Just that simple.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
What about Neptune? That's been something's happening with Neptune. That's the right planet.
Neptune?
Yeah, it was heating up. It was doing something, wasn't it? Peg Henry
We,
just said
we
that.
can't get no more green cheese from the moon, so I guess Neptune's up next, huh? 2 weeks.
See.
Hey, Mega Wolf, watch yourself.
2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks.
18th and 20th.
I've been like, that's
18th and 23rd. Oh boy.
yeah, the 12th, the 18th, and the 23rd. I thought it was the 24th.
Well, now, you know what I've heard? That the Earth's made of snow and it's melting.
Okay. Hey, we're almost up on 2 hours. I got to cut this
Well,
off because
okay.
it won't go up on Odyssey if it
You
gets
can't
much
get
longer.
it all.
No, I can't. So we're
Okay.
gonna have to call it a wrap for today, and we'll see you again when we come
Well, I
back.
was having so much fun.
Yeah. All right.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you,
It was
everyone,
fun.
for listening. And this is a lot of fun, especially when you participate in the chat. We enjoy that tremendously. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.
We'll stand. We'll stand. We will stand. Standing tall and standing.